This is John Blackstone. So this is one of the most unusual projects I've ever done. I'm a huge fan of comedy, and one of my all-time favorite comedians is Norm Macdonald. One of my favorite things are the appearances he made on the Dennis Miller radio show. And one day I thought it would be cool to create a visual accompaniment for these conversations. There are so many great stories and interesting little moments, and I encourage you to listen on headphones or earbuds so you can really hear the nuances, especially when Norm is on the telephone. This is my way of paying homage to Norm Macdonald, a guy that I really admire. Here is Norm Macdonald on the Dennis Miller Show.
We were to have Norm Macdonald, but he is What?
No, he's actually on.
What? Norm?
What, Dennis?
You're a freaking genius. Can I tell you that plane ride you were on and that Twitter jag, I followed it for like 5 hours. God, that was funny, man.
Oh, what, when I was tweeting?
Yeah, it was killing me, Norm. I was watching some games or something, and I had the Twitter on, and I just kept following your tweets, and I could see you trapped on the plane going through the sleeve on the front of the seat in front of you and pulling everything out. Hey, look at this porta-kiln in the airport store and stuff like that.
I was running out of stuff. I was running out of stuff.
Now, Norm is...
so much stuff on a plane, but have you heard about this Huckleberry Finn thing?
I heard something about they wanted to take the N-word out, right?
Yeah, anyways, I wanted to bring it up before I forgot, and then we'll get on to my projects.
All right. Do you have any observation on it, any tweak on it, or just the cognizance of the fact that they want to...
No, I feel it's a thorny issue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, that wasn't the whole thing.
No.
I thought you were going to go like, well, how so, or something like that.
Tell us more, Norm.
Why don't you do...
I feel it's a thorny issue.
Yeah, me
why.
too. Why, Norm?
Well, you got Mark Twain, and you're talking about, for those of you who don't know, what I'm talking about, they've taken out the N-word, out of many of the books of Huckleberry Finn.
Norm, they've taken out.
And so you got a thorny issue that I think I have a solution to. Do you want to hear it?
Oh, man. Never anything more.
Well, the thorny issue is this.
Yes.
You don't want to take, Mark Twain, one of the greatest writer ever to brush paper with ink, and change his words, for God's sake. On the other side of the coin, you don't want to have a young African American boy in school, hearing that word out loud and causing him pain. So it's a thorny issue. But I figure it this way. You've read Huckleberry Finn.
You are so splendidly demented. Yeah, I've read it.
You know it's written in the first person by Huckleberry Finn.
Yes, I do.
And you know it includes the N-word.
Yes.
Therefore, you just change Huckleberry Finn to a black kid.
And it's like a rap song at that point, right?
Exactly. Everything's cool.
Now,
right. Let's get to my project.
Now, listen, was there any sort of
Samuel Clemens?
No, he's made his fortune. Was there any subtle disparagement in the homosexual community when you said Huckleberry Bin?
I didn't.
Because, somewhere out there there's a gay kid in high school. So
something slipped up there.
Some cog got messed up. There's 5 comedians on the planet I'd set the TiVo for, or better yet, be in front of the screen for an hour comedy special. It's Norm. He's calling it Me Doing Stand-Up. It premieres Saturday, March 26th at 11:30, 10:30 Central. Stormin', are you proud of it? Are you doing it live, or is it in the can already, and how'd it go?
No, it's in the can.
Mm-hmm. Are you?
They let me edit it. I was always afraid to do a stand-up special,
Now, when you chortled after in the can, was that another subtle disparagement of the imaginary high school gay kid?
Kind of.
You're a tricky boy.
But they let me edit the special, so I was really happy to because I was always afraid, because a lot of times, like when I've seen those specials, and like you remember old Johnny Carson.
Believe me, I'm obsessed.
Yeah. And, you were on the old Johnny Carson show.
I wore an ascot.
Yeah.
I wore an ascot. The Germans wore gray.
Well, they would shoot a comic from from his belt to the top of his head, and everything was fine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm reading your tweets here, man. They're hilarious.
I think of you as Mark Twain.
You know what cracks me up is when you compare Gaddafi to Stuart Marco.
I do that every third tweet. Norman,
that's Don Adams. You probably know that.
Do you?
That's Don Adams' brother.
Margolin is.
Did you know that?
No, I did not know that. But now it makes sense because when I met him at Hef's, they called him Agent 69. Norman, do you still have the puppet? Are you still doing the Holocaust denier puppet? Is he still with you?
It turned out he's wildly unsuccessful.
Norman, you are a freaking genius. And you know who I was talking about your tweets? I had dinner with Steve a while back, and I said, "Are you following Norm?" And he said, "Genius, man." We wait with bated breath for your next mission.
Steve Martin?
Yeah.
Well, you know that dude?
Yes, I do.
Oh my God, man! I can barely get dinner with Todd Glass going.
Ask him to take you to that Greek place near the old ship in Philly. It's beautiful. You know how you get to Todd Glass? You have to go through the legendary WID.
Yes.
That was my Philly connection back then. Todd Glass, by the way. Christian, try to get Todd on. He's got a brilliant rat-a-tat delivery. All right, Norman, let me lay these down because these are important because this guy's a genius. High Stakes Poker, Norm's going to be the host. That airs Saturdays at 8 p.m. 7 Central on the Game Show Network. He's got a sports show. Can I come on this with you?
Oh, that'd be the greatest, man. That'd be my dream.
Well, I don't.
You're the first guy ever give me a job in this hardtack town.
We had Mark Brazil. You look back at that staff, man, huh? I feel like Sid Caesar. You and Drake, Mark Brazil, Rooney. How funny was that room?
Yeah,
killer room. I remember you guys.
I remember one time.
Well, you can't.
One time, Mark Brazil, who always used to do a lot of jokes about, he'd go, we have to take down Rush Limbaugh. Like he'd write like 3 Rush Limbaugh jokes a day. And then I remember you one time in a thing going, I kind of like Rush. He kind of makes sense. And Mark Brazil, like, jaw dropped.
I know. But he always liked me. He was like,
oh, yeah.
I mean, we had political differences, but Norm used to share an office with another comic genius named Drake Sather, and you guys tinfoiled your windows over. And I think you were both smoking at that point. And I'd periodically open the door around an hour before the show and go, hey, guys, got anything? It was pitch black. I'd see 2 cigarette ashes and go, we'll let you know. Boom, door would shut.
Did I ever tell you the story about when Drake and I went to a movie writing course?
No.
We go to the UCLA thing. It's 10 hours a day for 3 straight days. So it's me and Drake. We think we're going to write a movie. We're so stupid. So we sit in the back, and McGee starts telling the story. So he opens, and we're lost like immediately. Within the first couple of hours of this 30-hour course. But in his opening remarks, McGee said that it's all about the art of the storytelling,
Right.
And he said it doesn't matter the content of the story; it's how you tell it. He goes, we all know people who, their child died that morning, and they tell the story, and it's very dry. Whereas other people could tell you about losing change on a bus and make the story captivating, So it's all about the telling of the story. So. Drake and I were sitting there for the rest of the 30 hours, and just like every couple of minutes, Drake would turn to me with some variant of the following. He'd go, listen, Marge, that story about that dead son of yours is a bit of a yawner. don't know if you've heard Lucy's story about losing change on the bus this morning, but I want to take a few pointers.
That's a good Drake impression, too. I ever tell you that time Leno's lecturing up at the Improv one night on Melrose, and in a nice way. Jay always would tell the young comics about it, and he's got his Arthur Conan Doyle pipe out, and he's I always tell you 10 best jokes. You don't save them for the next thing. You don't know if there is a next time. So we sit there for around 40 minutes, and then at the end, Jay said, "Okay, guys, I gotta go." And he's got a fire truck outside or something he's driving, and Drake looks at him, he takes a draw on his cigarette, he goes, "Hey, thanks, Jay, but I got a father." God, he was funny. I miss Drakester. All right, Norm Macdonald, Me Doing Stand-Up premieres Saturday, March 26th at 11:30, 10:30 Central on Comedy Central, right after the rebroadcast of the Donald Trump roast. And The Sports Show with Norm Macdonald premieres on Comedy Central on Tuesday, April 12th at 10:30 p.m., 9:30 Central. This is a true comedy genius. Norman, I love you. Good to talk to you.
Thanks, Dennis.
Talk at you down the road. A true genius, and I haven't tweeted or read Norm's tweets lately, but there was one day where Norm was on a cross-country flight, as I'm about to be in a few hours here, 2 hours, and he tweeted all the way across the country, and I'm telling you, it reads like Candide. It is absolutely hysterical. The great Norm Macdonald. Stormin'.
Hey, man, what are you traveling across the country?
Yeah, I'm going. I'm going back to New York today. Where are you at?
I'm in Los Angeles.
All right.
I'm in Los Angeles, the city of. No, but I'm not Spanish. Listen, I don't know everything. But what are you going to do in New York?
Wish that you were there, quite frankly, so I could have dinner with you. Where do you like to eat in New York, Normie? What do you like?
I like Wally and Joseph's.
Oh, Bernie used to take me there. Did Bernie take you there first?
Oh, no, he didn't.
Bernie Brillstein took me there, and they have the killer steaks and a nice bowl of pasta, too, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And there's this other restaurant that was right across from my apartment. It's called Patsy's. Patsy's?
No, sure, I've been to Patsy's. That's Sinatra's old haunt. Roger Ailes always takes you there when he wants to have lunch with you.
So one time I was it was after the smoking ban. They just put a smoking ban in where you couldn't smoke.
Yeah.
And I guess this joint was run by some friends of Frank Sinatra.
Yes, let's say it.
What I'm saying.
Yes, I do know what you're saying.
So I went outside to smoke a cigarette, because you couldn't smoke inside. Then this guy comes out. He goes, "Nah, you smoke inside." I'm like, "Nah, it's against the law." He goes, "You smoke inside. It's all right." So then, I'm just sitting alone at this table. A guy puts a giant ashtray in front of me. I'm smoking this. Everyone's walking. Everyone's looking at me. But I was a maid. You know what a made man is?
Yeah, I know what a made man is, baby. I remember one night Gotti wanted my autograph for somebody at the Columbus Cafe, and I went back and met those guys. And it's fascinating in a way to watch that power. You're supposed to be repulsed by it completely, but there's something intoxicating about guys who are that, let's say, sure of themselves, right?
Who, the Teflon Don?
Yeah, he used to hang at that Columbus Cafe joint. Not a lot, but I saw him in there once, and they said...
he asked for your autograph?
Nah, some kid, he knew a kid, I think it was his daughter, maybe I'm wrong, but they said he wants an autograph for this kid, so I went back and signed it.
Oh, that's pretty cool. One time, Rob Schneider was telling me, if, someone recognized you like them, kind of?
Yeah.
So he was down in the studio. This was before I was there, but they used to have Donahue down there.
Right.
And so Football Williams was there, the guy who threw the brick at Reginald Denny's head. He was on Donahue, so he's dressed up in a suit and everything, and they were in the bathroom, and then Schneider couldn't recognize him at first. He goes, "Oh man, that's the guy that threw the brick." And then all of a sudden, Football looks at Schneider and goes, "You the copy guy, man, you're hilarious." Then Schneider said he liked him.
The Brickmeister. What are you doing? Are you going to do a flick? You out on the road? Give me something. I'm
on the road, man. I'm traveling. I'm traveling across this great land like you. But
so your similes today, they lack a little punch on the back end.
Well, I was trying to think of
Nobody sets them up like you, though. I'm telling you, you get up to that like, and you've got power, and then the back end is.
No, yeah, I hope it comes to me during this.
Similes, Norm, can I tell you, similes come to me like, you see what I did there?
No, you're a master at those things. But, no, I'm doing that. Oh, no, I'm in a movie.
What do you got?
No, you know when people go, hey, my movie's coming out, and then it turns out it's Sandler's movie, and you're in it for 5 seconds. You know those actors? They're like, yeah, I got this new TV show. It's called The Adventures of Old Christine. And you're like, what? That's not yours. But, no, Sandler, you know, every once a year, Sandler will throw me a bone, and then he'll desperately try to write me into the script. But he's playing this, he's in this movie where he plays a lady and his twin sister. I mean, a man and his twin sister, a lady.
Wow.
And then I go out with Adam Sandler, but he's a lady, you know, so it's cool.
Wow. Well, I used to love it when you two would make out at SNL.
What? So. One time they made me make out with Nealon.
I remember.
I was just a writer, and then like they write the sketch, and they're like, and then the idea was Nealon was at a bar, and Heather Locklear was over on the other side, and they were looking at each other and trying to top each other. So then Heather Locklear starts making out with a dude, and then Nealon like makes out with me.
Oh, I remember this.
And then if a guy kisses you, man, oh my God, you remember it for so much longer than if a girl kisses you.
Yeah, well, it's.
And he has that big head and everything.
Oh, yeah, he's big on head. Now, listen, speaking of turning up in movies, imagine my shock when you came into Jane Eyre wearing. What the hell was that about? Just something for dental benefits or something?
Oh, but you know, it was funny when I was on Saturday Night Live. Milos Forman, the estimable director
of One Flew Over the Amadeus Nest.
Yeah, so he would watch Saturday Night Live, and so he liked to update. He barely understood English.
Yes, well,
but, so he goes, oh yeah. So, anyways, he invites me to go eat with him at Nobu every week, right?
Yes.
And so it's me, him, 2 of his friends, and these guys are from Europe. And they're smart. They know everything, these 2 guys. And him, you know. And they're talking about, like, they know nothing about popular culture.
Right.
You know? It's all like, oh, did you see the guy's best friend is Vaclav Havel. And I'm trying to get through it, you know. And then, so finally I knew one thing, you know. I was like, because when I was young, there was an insurrection in my home province in Canada of Quebec. You know.
Yeah, so you were going to throw that down to look cool.
I started talking about the Front de Libération de Québec and their terrorism of the early '70s. And this guy knows more than I do about it.
Yeah, almost.
Yeah. They know everything. And then Milos Forman, he's like, I'm working on a new script. He goes, how do you feel about freedom of speech? I'm like, I don't care. Who cares about that? He's like, what? He's like, I lived through 7 different regimes. I'm like, okay.
Strange bedfellows. All of a sudden, he's looking at you like with that blank stare, like Chief at the end of Cuckoo's Nest.
Yeah, exactly.
He's got the Will Sampson lilt.
That was the guy's name.
Yeah, listen.
What was the guy's name? Seriously. Did you ever read the book? The book is written in the from the narrative of the Chief.
Look at you, Norm. Behind the scenes, you're a genius, aren't you?
No, I just read one book.
All right, so that's the only book you've ever read. We just happened to bring it up during here.
No, but that was a great book. I read that Kesey worked in a mental hospital or something.
Right, he did.
And gobbled LSD by the handful.
Well, good to know our lunatics are in the hands of Doc Ellis. You know Doc Ellis pitched a no-hitter on LSD.
I know. Have you seen the cartoon of that?
No.
No, because I always thought maybe that was a myth. But then on the internet, they have Doc Ellis actually talking about it. You got to check that out. It's www.youtube.
All right, Norman, what are you up to, man? I hope I see you soon. I miss you. You get the boy packed off to college? Everything good?
Oh yeah, man. I guess you've already been through that.
Yeah, it's sad, man.
Holy Lord, it's sad, man. There's a Dylan-sized hole in my heart.
Yeah. Does your boy have any of your chops? Is he quirky funny?
No, he's a good boy.
Yeah.
He's quirky, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, I know you love him, Norm. It is tough, man. You get all serious with yourself. I know comedians tend to goof through life. Then the Bambino's not there. It gets real serious, brother.
Yeah, it does. You're supposed to let them be free and stuff, but if it was up to me, I'd lock them in the basement.
Hannibal Lecter, home time. All right. Good to talk to you, Normie. I love you. You're a genius. You know that.
Hey, say hi to Nikki for me.
All right. I will. Who's that?
Nick DiPaolo. He's
Oh,
coming on
Nikki.
right after Norm.
I'm sorry.
Oh, was that a surprise?
No.
No.
it's not a
I
surprise. He
thought
just
you were
forgot.
talking. For some reason, a girl popped into my head or something. I will. I'll say hi to DiPaolo.
By the way, Norm, we would have accepted Charles Kuralt or Kerouac.
Oh, wait a minute.
Just so you know.
How do you know that stuff?
What's that, Christian?
He was looking for I Go Across the Country Like.
Oh, Kuralt or Kerouac.
They would have both been fine.
Let me see.
Lewis and Clark.
They would have been good, too.
Harriet Tubman on a roadie. All right, we'll talk at you, Norman. Well, folks, we were supposed to be joined this segment by the great Norm Macdonald. What's that? What's that, Christian?
He's with us.
No way.
Norm!
Yeah, that's why. Why are you making a joke? Because sometimes.
No, God forbid I do that. Let me read some of these tour dates off for Norm, by the way. And can I tell you, I've often said there's 5 guys on the planet I get up out of my chair and go pay my money to see. Nobody funnier than Norm Macdonald. Norm, the last time I talked to you, you were working with a puppet. Does that still hold true?
Why? They're not called puppets, man.
Oh, I'm sorry. What are they?
Ventriloquist dummies. And even that is a little apathetic, but...
What would you imagine they'd like to be called in a perfect
Well,
world?
I call them my friends.
Yes, of course.
My friends in the bag. Christian wanted me to do this, but I don't know where that bag is.
What were some of the puppets? Who was your rat pack in there?
I had my regular guy Brad. He's just my buddy, you know. And then I got this old man, and I had trouble with him. He's too cranky.
Right.
And it turned out I don't even want to mention what he believed.
And weren't you also beginning to work with a young Chippewa girl?
Oh. Now, that one was too expensive. I wish I could find my Richard Nixon doll, because now they have that Frost-Nixon debate.
Yes.
And I do have a Richard Nixon doll.
Uh-huh.
Now I'm calling him a doll, but he's somewhere. But I haven't even started working with him on the road because I'm not very good at it yet.
No. If you use the Nixon doll, you have to hold his arms up and have him say, "I am not a doll."
Man, that impression was, I would say that's about equal to Frank Langella's.
I thought it was pretty good.
No, I'm serious.
Thank you.
Frank Langella sucks.
As Dracula, no doubt. Now listen, where you been? You been on the road? You got any road antics for me? What's happening out there?
What, in the heartland?
Yeah, where you been? Some of these dates, you're getting out there into the tertiary markets, my friend.
Oh yeah, man. I play small nightclubs in the heartland.
You take
I'll tell you one thing, they love you.
Me?
Yeah, they're always like, when are you going to be a dentist next?
Wow, that's cool, man. I didn't know we were out there. I didn't even know I had an affiliate in Medicine Hat. Now, what do you do when you're up in Medicine Hat? You get off the stage at, 9:30? You're looking to cruise. Where do you go? To some
I don't
bar
drink.
where you buy drinks with pelts, or what's happening up there?
No, unfortunately, I don't drink, and I don't do any drugs, and I'm not promiscuous, so I don't do anything. I just go back to the hotel. I just basically, like, when you're on the road, other than the hour that you do stand up, you know.
Yes, you lay dormant.
Well, you have the life of a drifter. So a lot of it's trying to find food. But you know what I've found is, as I travel through the country,
Tell me, Mr. Sullivan.
and this might be, who knows, this might be profound.
Well, we'll write it down and analyze it.
But I was in this place called, I think it was called Malleyville, Iowa, you know?
Sure.
So I noticed, like, the local comics, like, they'd get up and they'd go, hey, man, I'm happy to be here. I just came from Wadsworth. And everyone would, like, they'd laugh, you know? So I talked to the guy, the owner, and he's like, oh, those guys from Wadsworth, they're idiots, you know? And it turned out Wadsworth was just about 18 miles down the road from Malleyville, Iowa, right?
Who's booking you, Harriet Tubman?
You're not letting me get to my profound
No,
point.
I'm just, for God's sakes, these places don't even exist.
Well, no, I'm actually making up these
What
names.
were you, at the Shady Rest this week?
No, I'm making up the names to protect the innocent.
All right.
And the guilty.
So get profound.
Yeah, I only have one profound thought every few years.
All
so
right.
The last thing I need is somebody, you know.
Interjecting.
No, I love interjecting. But listen, so I went on stage and I said, listen, folks, you know, you keep making fun of these fellas from Wadsworth down 18 miles down the road from you, pretending they're all stupid. And I'm sure they do the same for you, but you know, no one could be more alike than you guys, you know?
Mm.
And if there's any hope for the world, anyway, he got no laugh.
Shocking.
Pretty well destroyed my set, you know? Because they're yelling, Wadsworth, why do you go for Wadsworth, you know? And, but doesn't it show you something?
Yeah, sure.
How's the world going to get together if Malleyville
And Wadsworth can't even pull it together.
Yeah, it's not that profound.
That was the whole thing?
Hey, I saw Matlock.
Only you would refer to Andy Griffith as Matlock.
Well, I you know, I don't want to get too arcane. Yeah, his real name's Andy Griffith, but now he calls himself Ben Matlock.
Where'd you bump into him at?
He was at the airport at the LAX.
You're kidding me. Now that would be a thrill for me.
Oh man, it was incredible because like I grew up watching the Andy Griffith Show, and then later when he changed his name to Ben Matlock.
Yeah.
So I'm standing there. So I see they have an Archie comic. I haven't seen Archie comics for years.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm reading the Archie comic. He's reading a really big book, you know. Like he's like you know, like real smart, you know. I guess.
Yeah, he's
So-
Andy Mayberry.
So I'm looking through my Archie book and my Archie comic, which I haven't seen in a long time. And it was actually a good one, like Jughead.
Mm-hmm.
He gets a job at Pop's Chocolate Shop.
Yeah.
And Jughead is you know, he's kind of a never-do-well,
Yeah,
for
he's
those
a
of you who don't
Jughead.
know him. And so it's kind of surprising to Archie and Reggie Mantle. Like they're like, what? Jughead got a job, you know?
Exactly.
Seems weird. He's like a short order cook at Pop's Chocolate Shop.
Yeah, he's like Screech with a squint.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
the crown.
So it turns out they're like at the end they're like, Jughead, you never work. Like you're just a bum, you know, that likes hamburgers, likes to eat hamburgers. He says, yeah, that's right. And you know those big chef hats they wear?
Mm-hmm.
Jughead pulls his chef hat off. It's filled with hamburgers. So the only reason he got the job in the first place was so he could steal all these hamburgers from Pop's Chocolate Shop.
Well, you know, they say that 90% of the heat in a human's body escapes through the head. So actually, to keep them in there is wise. It keeps the buns softened like Pink's over at La Brea and Melrose. And by the way, I don't know if you've caught the new Archie, but Midge has to extend the restraining order on Moose from 30 to 50 feet. And call in Gavin DeBecker because Moose evidently on some anabolics and a little crazy at this
Little
point.
handsy.
Norman, what do you got planned today? What are you going to do?
Well, I was going to tell you my Matlock story, but...
No, go ahead. Sorry. I've got time. Go ahead. Recount. I thought you had to go. Go ahead.
No, I remember I was telling you about how I met Andy Griffith.
Yes.
So he's reading this big book, you know.
Oh, right.
So
That's it.
I say I'll sidle up beside him and pretend to read a big book myself, you know, and then we'll get in a discussion, right? Because I didn't want to just bug him, you know.
That's how you meet people.
And I was hoping maybe he'd, by some crazy chance, maybe recognize me or something. So I stand beside him, and he's reading and everything like that, and I'm talking to him and everything. Anyways, turns out the guy's not Andy Griffith. Just an old man. So now I'm just talking to an old man who clearly is always like mistaken for Andy Griffith, but uses it, you know, because I'm like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and who would talk to an 85-year-old man? So this guy's just milking it, you know.
Oh, Norman, I love you. I'll talk at you down the road. The Dennis Miller Show. Lovely Norm Macdonald has called in. Norm, Storm and Norman, I've missed you.
Yeah, if you don't have any plans for the fall,
Believe me, I'd love to come down, and then we're going on the road with the gin game later in the year. Aren't we? All right, what do you want to talk about?
Listen, man, I like staying at home with my kid and then watching, pretend I'm in show business, watching trailers and going, I know that guy. I say that a lot.
And there's a kid impressed.
And Ashton Kutcher, hey, you want to hear a funny story about Ashton Kutcher?
Love one.
So he's on the Jimmy Kimmel Show.
Right.
And Super Dave was telling me that. You know, Super Dave is really funny.
Sure. Brooks's brother.
So Super Dave was the other guest, so they said, like, before the show, they said, you can't ask a question about him going out with Demi Moore, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And Super Dave's not that, you know, hip to everything. Like, he doesn't care and everything. So, anyways, halfway during the show, he said, listen, Ashton, I don't know who you are, but someone backstage told me you were dating Mary Tyler Moore.
Now let me ask you this, Norm. I think that
Then Ashton Kutcher tried to go along with it. You know how guys try to be funny by going, yeah,
Right.
We're on our third year dating. It's you know, it's already over, but the guys.
I think that Super Dave's so brilliant that he knows exactly what he's doing.
Oh,
right?
no, he knows what he's doing.
I mean, he's as sharp as they come in that sort of guise of being the bumbler. But I know he knew exactly that he's whining. What are you still toying with the idea of the puppet act, or what are you telling me?
Oh, no. What, you want to hear that guy?
I just remember you telling me you were working on a ventriloquist act.
Yeah, we don't call it puppet act, but thanks a lot, man, for the respect. Can't do it now at all because the guy. That's a regular Johnny Carson move. Our next act is a puppet act. We'll be coming out here with a puppet and pretending it speaks.
Norm, wait, Norm, I have to tell you something that'll make you laugh. Do you remember Gervitz, our manager, used to handle a guy, or maybe he still does, named Ron Lucas, who was a puppet act?
Oh, yeah.
And he was the sweetest guy in the world. So when I'm in Hollywood, I'm trying to impress Gerv, and I'm just new there, so I'm shooting from the hip, trying to do that whole sardonic Dennis thing. I go into his office one day. He's sitting there with Ron Lucas, and Gerv says, "This is Ron. He's a ventriloquist, and he just got a new act he was telling me about." And I said, "Yeah? What'd you buy, a lathe?" and the guy looked at me so crestfallen, and I have felt guilty about it to this day. So if anybody knows Ron Lucas, or indeed the puppet, my apologies. I was an insecure kid trying to act cooler than I was. But,
You owe no apology because those guys want to be comedians.
Oh, they do.
Yeah. So he should have, if he had any brains in his head, he should have gone, "Hey man, can I use your lathe joke?" and then done it because the new thing is, as you call it, the puppet act. We call it ventriloquism.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's like
I didn't want you to be slumming there.
It's kind of postmodern ventriloquism where the act almost talks about the non-existence of the, he cops to the fact that it's an inanimate object. You've heard that.
A reductivist approach to
yes. And I've noticed they've exchanged, they used to just have the wood, like your joke would work, the lathe, back in the late 70s when you told it, right? But now, they've replaced the Charlie McCarthys with these giant, much more likable Muppet-type characters.
Oh, right.
Right, so it would be like because they found they were making too many movies where the where the antagonist of the film was a ventriloquist dummy. Nothing but pure evil.
Right.
So then the ventriloquists are going, oh, my God, this is not going to be good for my act.
The malevolence factor. So they went to sort of a sleeping bag with a face on it, the big plush thing.
That's what it looks like.
Uh-huh.
But no, Rusty's wood, my guy.
Wait a second. Saberhagen, you have to isolate that quote. That is going to be played regularly on this show. Rusty's wood, my guy, is the funniest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, man.
Oh, tell me about Rusty. I don't know. What's Rusty look like?
What, Rusty? No, I'll get him out of the bag in a minute. But listen, man, it is what? He's shy sometimes. But what is that?
Well, listen, Norman, I can't tell you how good it is to hear from you. You know I think you're a genius.
Wait,
you know I love you.
Wait, is it over?
Well, I haven't played a commercial yet this hour.
No, but are we going to do another bit after the commercial?
Can you stay?
Hold on, man. Let me ask Rusty.
We'll be right back with the guys on the Dennis Miller Show. Hang in, Norman. Welcome back to the Norm Macdonald Show. Co-starring, is his name Sandy?
Rusty.
Rusty.
How many puppets do you have?
I got 3.
3 in the bag?
Yeah, I got them cheaper because there were 3. But these are not cheap. I paid a pretty penny for them.
Mm-hmm.
Like one of them worked with Paul Winchell. This guy was a fortune. And then he's one guy, Rusty's the main guy. And plus I got a book. I do it, Hold on a sec. What the? That's just Gervitz phoning. He's phoning to ask me if I'm on with you guys. Should I take it?
Well, Gervit's checking up on you. We're all somebody's puppet, Norm. That's our plight in life.
Wait, why do you keep saying puppet? Jeez, man.
I don't know. Well, these personas that you have. What's the Winchell?
They're as real as anything real, like a person. One's Rusty. He's my, as it says in the book, he's my main man, and he's just like an everyman. This guy'll say anything. And then there's one puppet that's no good at all. That's he's an old guy and he's cranky about everything, right? But also, he doesn't believe the Holocaust happened. He's like the worst puppet character ever. Like, and I never want to talk to him. I never use him because it always comes back to that.
It's not Steve in Vermont. The puppet isn't Steve in Vermont.
No, he's the worst, man. The guy's just, first of all, he's playing wrong. He's not like an evil guy, just ignorant. Like old men will be. But anyway, and then the third one's Richard Nixon.
Actually,
you can talk to any of them. I don't care. I know. I'm not talking to old man Jenkins.
I am not a puppet. Thank you, Norm.
The Dennis Miller Show.
We are joined now by comedian / ventriloquist, and I still see he's acting, as I see a listing here on the sheet that he will be appearing in Adam Sandler's new movie, Funny People, currently in production. That sounds like a fun shoot. I wish I was on that one. Norm Macdonald, welcome to the show, Norm.
Hey, Dennis, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Norman. Where are you guys shooting Funny People at, and are you having fun with it?
Oh, yeah, man, we're having a riot. I play a stand-up comedian.
Wow, you're kidding me. What's the movie about? Stand-ups in general?
Yeah, it's about stand-ups and how they're actually sad or something like that.
Where's the shoot taking place? Los Angeles?
They just pick me up in a car and I get out.
All right. It's somewhere in this time-space continuum, though, right?
Yeah.
All right. I just I wanted to be sure. Who's in it besides you and Adam? Any other comedians?
Sarah Sarah Silverman,
Mm-hmm.
the great David Tell.
Oh.
So it's chock full of
Chock-a-block, as they say.
bad
in England.
actors.
You snuck one in on me there, Norman. Now, what are you doing for are you a big holiday guy? How do you help the human condition around the holidays? Do you do charity work, or do you just get out there and be Norm? Is that enough for the world?
Well, no, every year I go down to the Laugh Factory. The great Jamie Masada has a Christmas thing where he opens the doors of the Laugh Factory to the homeless, So I go out there with Freddie Stoller, and we ladle out some, gravy and turkey. And
have you ever had a homeless guy in the middle of his set and you've come in and bumped him because you were on network television?
No, they don't do sets.
Oh.
No, we give food to the home. Actually, John Lovitz is going to be doing a set this year, so it's not entirely free, but everything has its price.
Guys out there, homeless people doing the 20-second injury timeout gesture. Hey, enough, liar. I'm trying to have some giblets over here, okay? Can you lighten up?
Jamie wanted to tell me also that this year sex offenders are welcome. Hey, I got an early Christmas present from our manager, Mark Gervis.
What, did he send you the shortbread cookies or the caramel corn this year?
He sent me a card that said in lieu of a gift, he's going to give money to homeless people.
Jesus, that's pretty presumptuous on him, isn't it?
Yeah, no kidding. Who gets the tax write-off on that one? Funny, I give to charity, plus I get gifts for my friends. But
yeah, obviously not the case over there. Here's the thing about Gervitz. He does make the donation, then he hits the homeless guy up for 10%. It's absolutely brutal. They always wet their beak over that, Brillstein, my friend. Now, where are you going here? You're going to Cobb's in San Francisco, January 9th through 11th. Three-day set there. What do you like to do during the days in San Fran to unwind? Do you go?
I just work on my ventriloquism.
Oh, how's that going, Norm?
It's going great, man. I thought Rusty and I would do a little holiday song for you.
Oh, you're kidding me. Let me kick back here and put my feet up in front of the fire. You and Rusty. Which puppet is Rusty? Refresh me.
Rusty's just my friend. I'm having a lot of trouble with my cranky old man. I don't know if you remember old Alec Majerison, the virulent anti-Semite.
Yeah, sure, I remember. What, are you kidding me? I have a plaque commemorating my first meeting.
I'm trying to get rid of that guy because he's a Holocaust denier. That's no secret. He's an enthusiastic Holocaust denier, and I've had it up to here with this character. The man, he's just a waste of wood. But I don't know what to do. One of my Jewish friends suggested that, why don't I just throw them in a fire and burn them? But I say two wrongs don't make a right.
Gotta go.
But anyways, we're not here to talk about that. Let me get Rusty out here. Rusty, say hello to Dennis. Hey, Dennis, how are you?
Hey, Rusty.
What?
Hi, Rusty.
Who's the dummy here, me or you?
It's me.
It sounds like it's you.
I'm sorry, Rusty. Let me give you my man voice. Hey, Rusty, how are you doing?
Yeah, dummy. Hey, come on now, Rusty. That's ridiculous. Calling Dennis Miller a dummy on his own radio program.
Now, can I jump in here for a second and tell you, here's how crazy Norm is. I'm sitting here believing that he actually has a puppet. Like, it's not enough for him to fake the puppet act on the radio and over the phone. You did pull out a puppet and have it on your arm right now, don't you?
Of course I have my pal Rusty here. Yeah.
What do you boys have planned for us today, Rusty's Norm?
We're going to do a song according to this dummy. Would you stop calling me that? You're the dummy. Now listen, we're going to do a song, a beautiful song. Why? By the way, Rusty, what are you doing for Christmas? Are you going to see your family? Oh, sure. In my family tree, it's an actual tree. Okay, now that's just ridiculous.
You're actually overlapping dialogue here, Norm. You're not even putting a second between you and the puppet's voice.
Now, Rusty, are you ready to sing that song with me? Sure.
There you go.
Okay, I'll start. Here we go. Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose. And if you ever saw him, you would say that he was a drunk. Hey, come on! Well, that's ridiculous.
What the?
Come on now, this don't ruin. This is a classic. I'm sorry. All right, now let's continue. Then one foggy Christmas Eve, Santa came to town. Rudolph, with your nose so bright, have you been drinking some bathtub gin? What? Okay, now that's enough. That's way beyond the pale.
Stop it, Rusty. Stop.
I wish you'd kick the bucket. Like what? Kick the bucket. What are you talking about? You said pail. Bucket. It's a synonym. Okay, all right. Yeah, that's right. Okay, now that's ridiculous. You're the dummy. Okay.
Stop.
I'm sorry, Dennis. This is going nowhere. This is ridiculous. I apologize for wrestling.
Norm, Jesus, it's so crazy. It's gotten so crazy over the years.
I can't go on with this. This is just an abuse to the whole idea.
All right. Now, what separates Rusty's old man voice from the old Holocaust denier's voice? What? Give me that voice.
You don't want to hear from him, do you?
Well, I know Rusty's just wetted the palate for a little more puppetry.
I swore I'd never use this guy.
It's like the Stones doing "Sympathy for the Devil" after Altamont.
There
I
we
never
go.
thought
Alec,
I'd see you play that.
Alec, how are you?
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay, I guess. Yeah, I suppose. What do you think of this Christmas? What do I think of it? I'm not going to celebrate no holiday where a bunch of bearded New Yorkers killed our savior. Hey, come on now. You're going back in the case. I'm sorry, Dennis.
Oh, Norm,
Like
you didn't quite have control of the posse today, but I realize it's the holidays are amongst us, and that they're a little petulant this time of year.
I can never keep these guys under control.
Norm, you are an absolute wild man. We want you and yours, i.e. the satchel full of puppets, to have a Merry Christmas. And once again, when is the date you'll be out there at the Laugh Factory, Jamie Masada's place? Is that on Christmas Day?
January 25th.
And is the public welcome to come and help, or is it just a closed house event that Jamie does for the homeless?
No, anybody that can come that doesn't have a place to go for Christmas.
So you don't turn people away at the door if they have a home?
Not at all.
All right, I like to see that holiday spirit. Thank you, Norman. Ho, ho, ho. This is the Dennis Miller Show.
But no, Rusty's would, my guy.
Wait a second. Saberhagen, you have to isolate that quote. That is going to be played regularly on this show. Rusty's wood, my guy, is the funniest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, man.
Oh, tell me about Rusty.